What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Michael and welcome to FudgeMuppet. You guys told us you wanted the best Skyrim perks after we told you the worst perks in another one of our vids, and we're more than happy to deliver. Now this video is all about some much needed Skyrim education. You see, after deciding the 6 best perks, we scoured the internet to see if we'd missed anything, checking what many other people online believed the best perks in Skyrim were. Now to our surprise, not a single one of them matched up with a single one of ours. People actually were ranking things like extra pockets as one of the best perks in the game. It was just all so crazy. Point being, if you're going to try making a really powerful build, please prioritize using the perks like these and not just a bunch of convenience perks. Now this list isn't ordered and we'd love to hear what perks you personally find best in the comments below. We also aren't including any of the base damage related perks as they're obviously very powerful and necessary for almost any build. So latching onto all of your gear and making you an absolute god, we have the extra effect perk. This is from the enchanting skill tree and lets you put 2 enchantments on one piece of gear, effectively doubling your enchantment slots. Now we know enchanting is quite possibly the most powerful skill in the game, and using this perk just takes it to the next level. Would you like to cast any spells non-stop from a certain school of magic and have it cost nothing? How about 2 schools of magic? Well, with extra effect you can. Imagine being able to constantly use spells like Pacify, Frenzy, and Invisibility, alongside constant destruction spells or unlimited conjuring, or maybe continuous paralysis spells. It's all possible and basically makes you unstoppable. Whatever you decide, it alone would make this one of the most powerful perks in the game. But hold on, there's more. You have a headpiece, the chest, the gauntlets, the boots, a ring, and a necklace to enchant. With extra effect, that's going to be a massive 12 enchantments. Throw in a shield and it becomes 14 enchantments. So maybe you want incredibly high health, a full resistance to magic, dramatically increased one-handed damage, and hardly any casting cost for your favorite spells. Add in a weapon of your choice too, perhaps a sword with chaos damage and fiery soul trap, which you can use to kill everyone with unlimited charge. And by unlimited charge, I mean by using the black star in conjunction with it, or actually completely reducing the casting cost of the magic school you've chosen to enchant your weapon with. I could go on, but I'm pretty sure you get the idea. This perk is sensational. Oh, and by the way, you can basically achieve the effects of all of those convenience perks people love by using enchanting if you wanted to anyway, and with extra effect, you'd still have room left for whatever else it is you wanted. Deadly dragons and powerful enemies with high damage spells can be a real hassle in Skyrim. 2 of the best defenses in the game against these dangerous foes are magic resistance and spell absorption. Magic resistance simply blocks a certain percentage of magic from harming you, but spell absorption stops all magic from hurting you and absorbs all of it into your own magical pool for personal use. The percentage of spell absorption you have determines the chance of this happening, as opposed to deciding the percentage of magic you absorb. Anyways, this is obviously incredibly useful, and it makes the Atronach perk from the Alteration skill tree one of the best perks in Skyrim. What the Atronach perk does is give you a 30% chance to absorb 100% of the magic that hits you and lets you harness it instead. This is basically a 1 in 3 chance for any dangerous spell to have no effect on your character, and it only costs 1 perk point as opposed to the magic resistance perk in the Alteration tree that requires 3 perk points to get 30% magic resistance. Magic resistance is always great, but spell absorption is even better, and again, picking up Atronach for 1 perk point is just so easy. What's even better is that the Atronach perk can be used alongside our favorite standing stone, the Atronach Stone. The Atronach Stone gives you 50% spell absorption, and with the Atronach perk, you'll have a combined total of 80%. This means that almost all magicka that hits you won't have an effect. Play as a Breton who have an inbuilt 25% magic resistance, and you'll be even better off just in case a few spells do make it through. Oh, and as a Breton, you can also use your race power once a day called Dragon Skin, which temporarily gives you 50% spell absorption. With the Atronach perk, this means you could get 80% spell absorption temporarily without the Atronach Stone, and with the Atronach Stone, you can have 100%. Anyways, in a nutshell, spell absorption is beast, and Atronach lets you spend 1 perk point to get 30% of it. Definitely a great investment. As I talked about with the extra effect perk, being able to continually cast spells like Pacify and Frenzy is incredibly powerful. These spells allow you to make enemies kill each other or completely calm enemies down. If you can deal enough damage, why even bother with Paralyze when you could just use the Pacify spell and then kill your opponent? Well, I'll tell you what's wrong with Pacify and Frenzy, even if you could continually cast them when they can't even affect your opponent. For that reason, we've got the Illusion dual casting perk coming in next as one of the best perks in all of Skyrim. This is because illusion spells spells, particularly Pacify and Frenzy, are so super powerful, but without Illusion Dual Casting, they're going to stop affecting high-level enemies quick smart. Illusion Dual Casting multiplies the enemy level you can reach with your spells by a massive 2.2. It does this multiplication after adding in the level increases from perks like Kindred Mage. This one's pretty straightforward. Who doesn't want to stop powerful enemies dead in their tracks, making them stand blissfully and giving you time to do whatever you want, even alternatively using Frenzy to make them tear their allies apart. Have fun being a puppet master with this perk. Next up, we have a simple one I almost forgot to include in the list, and that perk is Twin Souls. This allows you to summon 2 Daedra instead of just 1, or have 2 reanimated corpses if you're into necromancy, including dead thralls of course. Alternatively, you could have 1 of each. It's really up to you, but the point is that this is super good for mage characters because you end up with 2 companions helping you. Obviously, you can have these alongside a normal companion giving you 3 high damage meat shields, and if you want a temporary companion like a dog, you'll end up with 4 members, together making you an unstoppable squad of 5. With Twin Souls, you'll have 2 distractions for your enemies, meaning you'll end up taking much less damage in battles and also killing your enemies far quicker. People often forget how strong Daedra are. For example, Dremora Lords have 345 health points and attack with an enchanted Daedric Greatsword of the Inferno. By summoning 2 of these bad boys, you're basically adding 690 health and 2 incredibly dangerous weapons to your side of the fight. If you've tried this perk for yourself, you'll know just how great it is, and remember, if you're using enchanting, then lowering your conjuration cost is probably a great idea too. Oh, and in regards to necromancy and dead thrall, you can pick 2 of the strongest enemies to consistently stay with you for the whole game. Talk about loyal bodyguards. Next, we have one of my favorite perks in Skyrim, and that is Necromage. Obviously, on the surface, the perk says it just makes your spells more powerful against undead, which is decent, but the real benefit happens when you are undead, aka a vampire. As a vampire with Necromage, you will have certain spells, enchantments, and shouts increased in potency, as well as perks. Do remember that many effects will be amplified, including negatives, such as weakness to fire, which you do have as a vampire. Examples of benefits include increasing the magnitude of all enchantments placed on apparel by 25%. That is a massive bonus. It also increases standing stone effects, doing things like making the ritual stone affect enemies past the level of 75, and taking the spell absorption of the Atronach stone from 50% to 62.5%. Examples of perks include making Jewel Flurry another 25% faster, and making time move 25% slower with a bow while using the steady hand perk. There's a long list I can't go through in the video, but do let me know in the comment section if you want us to make a video on the entire list of Necromage benefits. Examples of how Necromage benefits spells include increasing the duration of Muffle and Invisibility by a whopping 50%, and increasing the armor rating and duration of shielding spells such as Ebony Flesh, so if you're going to play a vampire, definitely pick up this perk. And finally, we have perk number 6 on the list, Shadow Warrior. This is the final perk in the sneak tree, and what it does is momentarily stop combat when you crouch, also forcing distant opponents to lose you. From the third person point of view, it also shows you briefly go invisible, and there's this awesome black smoke that trails off your character, but that's not why it's so amazing. Sure, having distant opponents lose track of you is sensational for any stealth build, but this perk actually shines when you're up close and personal. Essentially, what you can do is stay invisible permanently by slamming that crouch button. You can then go up to an enemy, crouch, and then quickly use a sneak attack, and because you technically become invisible and undetected for a mere second, you'll get all the sneak attack multipliers and probably kill them instantly. You basically teabag your way around the battlefield, slitting throats and assassinating strong enemies with critical hits. And if you don't kill the enemy instantly, you can just keep doing these critical hits to wear them down rapidly. Also, a companion can spoil this sneak attack trick, so it's best you do this solo. But anyway, you're a non-stop critical hitting invisible teabagging machine. I shouldn't even need to sell this perk. And that wraps up me dropping some mad knowledge on you all about the best perks in Skyrim. If you want a video about more of the best perks, or some of the worst ones, or some more of the worst ones, let us know in the comments section. Subscribe if you want more, and if you go to the description, you can find links to our social media accounts and our newly made Patreon. My name is Michael. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to nerding out with you again very soon.